So, if we're talking poetics and creativity,
Yes.
there has to be somebody who's creating. So,
Yeah, very
how
good.
do people, personhood, fit into poetics?
How does personhood fit into poetics? It's a very important question because creativity and the development of bringing something from nothing or something from adaptation comes out of the heart, not the head. It comes out of the emotions, not the grinding cognition of mathematical points. And it's not computable. It's not like the brain is not a computer on a body. And that metaphor is just the most pathetic thing, because persons and people are way more than just some, computer or a machine. So we have to get the idea of personhood right in order to understand the fullness of what it is to be a person and what it is to live in poetics. I mean, if you can't just enjoy the sun for the sake of sitting in the sun, and you've got to analyse the sun and pull out your science books and study the sun, and I know some people have to do that, but there's a balance with that, If you can't just lie on a beach and enjoy the sun, or like we are now, sit by a lake and enjoy the sun, there's something wrong with you. There's something missing in your life. And this is where the idea of the dialectical balance comes in. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy or makes Jill a dull girl. So we have to then go back to what it is. What is it to be a human person? And that involves a whole scope of many things, from moral meaning all the way to what you eat and how you exercise and how you sleep, and then how you engage with others and how you listen and how you work with others, how you build into an organisation, etc. So I find it fascinating that there is nowhere in the risk and safety world where anyone spends a moment connecting the idea of what is it to be a human agent, a human person. And yet we come out with these fake principles, slogans, and we come out, because you can't develop principles without a methodology of personhood.
Yeah.
Because
What is the framework that you're going to build this around?
correct, but what we do is we bring out a slogan that actually has an immoral outcome because you didn't develop a theory of personhood. And so, no surprise, in risk and safety is the dehumanisation of persons is the common outcome for most safety practice.
So could it be that they start off with a slogan and are trying to reverse engineer or jam it into a framework that they think is...
Well, they don't have a framework. I've never seen anyone anywhere write a framework of ethics in risk and safety.
No, true. Yeah.
It doesn't exist. Or if they do one, it's like they do in the Institute of Health and Safety, some deontological Kantian crap, which is, we have a duty. Oh, okay, good. What's your duty to? It's not to persons. The duty in that chapter in the Institute of Health and Safety's body of knowledge is we have a duty to the regulation.
Yes.
Or a duty to systems, not a duty to persons. That's not the language of that.
Yeah.
And in my latest book, where we talk about ethics, we talk about how deontology is a critical part of safety and the process of dehumanisation. It's built into the way safety works. And it's why the mob, that human organisational performance, listen to the language of that, and read any of the books by them. There's nothing about persons. There's nothing about humanising people. It's still all about how does your system work to get a safety outcome.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And so, it's like human factors. Human factors is not about human factors. It's not about humans. Human factors is about systems. How can we make systems efficient? And the reason why that doesn't work is because you haven't gone back to the very basics, which is we need to start with what is it to be a human person? What do human persons need in community, in sociality, in meaning and purpose in their lives? And let me tell you, I don't wake up in the morning and think, how can I be safe around a rock?
Yeah.
I don't wake up in the morning and think, oh, I better tell all these people by the lake that there's no barrier, they could fall in and drown. The people walking around this lake, they're not thinking, oh, I better be safe today. They're walking around this lake and riding their bikes around this lake because they feel the embodied beauty of the lake, the sun, the being in the world. That's where we should start with personhood. You know, what is it to be a human person, and what do human persons need? And let me tell you, they don't need some hero coming policing them about, oh, you're not safe, hold the guardrail, you know?
Yeah.
But that only happens in the workplace. But let me tell you, the risks of all that around the lake, there's no policing of that around the lake, whether you're a 3-year-old or a 80-year-old. And that's where the enjoyment is. The happiness and enjoyment's there. The moment I get to workplaces, oh hell, hold the handrail, you're Kevin Killjoy.
That's great. Let's leave that one there.
Yeah.
That was great.
Okay.